Okay, how's it going? So in my last video, I did this thing where I wrote a song, which was actually kind of cool because I wrote it in my sleep because I had a dream where I saw a three-piece band playing it, and then I woke up and I remembered it, so I hummed it into my phone, so I, the voice memo thing, so I would like remember what it was. I came out here and I put it down. That was kind of cool. That's never really happened in that great a detail. I've had dreams where I like heard like a melody or some kind of other thing, and then I'd put it together. Sometimes it sounds okay, sometimes it's garbage, and I just ditch it. But this one was like the entire song, and I got the lyrics and everything. So if you want to see that, go back to a previous video. I have like 3 previous videos. One will be a guitar solo, one's the full song, and then one is how I wrote and recorded the whole thing. Or recorded the whole thing. That's kind of neat if you want to see that. It's pretty much the same as my usual video style, except that I just kind of had the song pre-written because I knew what it was. Even the lyrics, I knew what the lyrics were when I woke up. That was like just crazy. Before that, I was actually messing around on the couch, and I had this song. It's actually in the same key. It starts on a C sharp minor. It's just like a different C sharp minor than what I was using. That was just like the basic C sharp minor bar chord. This is a little different. And then I basically just changed the root to A and then to B. So, just kind of neat. It's like an atmospheric type thing. And I'm not really even sure if I'm going to use this as like an entire song or if I'm just going to do like an intro thing with it or something. Maybe I'll use it for stock music, or maybe it'll be an instrumental. But I figured either way I'd turn the camera on and start doing this. I'm making these videos basically because I kind of like to just showcase my songwriting and like how I kind of record everything as I piece it together and stuff, which I don't really go into too much technical detail on the whole like recording software aspect of it. Basically just like if you're going to be recording, learn to gain stage, which means digital recording, go in with plenty of headroom so you're not even close to clipping. I usually like to go like -14 and maybe even lower depending. Some of these guitars I'm going in at like -20 and whatnot. And there's not a lot of noise on a digital recording. The noise floor is like super low, so you can go down pretty far. And then what I do is make sure everything sounds good going in, so you don't have to do a lot of EQ and compression and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see. First, I got to figure out the tempo. So this song, I'm gonna guess like 80. That's actually a little fast. It's probably 70. Oh, don't tell me it's right in the middle. It's like 75. It is. Okay. So there's the tempo. I have a drum beat going. It's just like a super long drum loop that I have like on my template that I open up in Logic Pro 10, and I have all of my instances of Bias Amp 2 loaded on all the different guitar tracks. I have a guitar solo track. I have a bass guitar track, and then I have a electronic drum track, which I use my electronic drums to track all of my drums because my acoustic drum room, where my acoustic kit is and all mic'd up and everything, is 2 flights of stairs down, and I don't have anyone else here to hit record for me. So instead, I go sit at that thing and I plug it into Spirit Drummer 3. Which when you see me recording it though, I actually am just using some monitoring sounds which are not nearly as sophisticated, so then I'll change it after the fact to Spirit Drummer 3 when I'm doing the mix down and stuff. Okay, so let's get the guitar started. The first thing I do is I do a left guitar, and then I do a right guitar after that, and they're pretty much identical, and then I come up with any overdubs after I get this down. I don't even know what I'm going to do for the song right now. I pretty much improvise all of my songs, aside from weird ones where I had a dream about it, but that was the last video. So we're back to just making stuff up on the fly. I want to turn the gain on the guitar down a bit. I'm gonna pick right next to the bridge and get this like chimey sound. I think I got a tune. The only pedals I use, I just have a Boss tuner, and then I have a Morley mini wah. That's it, and then I run into my interface. Sometimes if I'm doing stuff that's like tuned down and whatnot, I just use a Digitech drop, which maybe some people are like not agreeing with, but I find that I don't have to like deal with string gauge and intonation and whatnot with that thing. The latency is like barely perceptible. It's like 2 or 3 milliseconds. Changes your tone a little bit, but it's so minuscule that you literally just have to grab the treble knob and crank it up like 1 notch. So, okay. Here we go. Okay, so the left guitar is down. Now I'm going to do the right guitar. So if you notice, well, actually you probably won't, because when I edit these, I cut out after the first chorus just to save time, because I don't want the video to be really, really long. But basically, I just played the exact same thing 3 times. That's kind of like my MO for writing songs. So I like to just do verse, chorus, repeat it 3 times, or verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and repeat it 3 times. And sometimes I'll do like slight variations where I'll do like just the pre-chorus, or I'll do like an extended chorus or a key change or something like that. Usually that third A section is where I'm going to do my guitar solo. That might seem a little bit like too structured, but at the same time, it helps me like organize things and just keep going. So let's do the right guitar. Okay, so that's the right guitar. That's the identical thing. Now I have to worry about what I'm going to do for any kind of overdubs, just to kind of like thicken up this stuff. So I was looking for my capo, but I think it's inside the house, and I don't feel like getting it. Maybe I'll try the E. E. It's a lot of E's going on. Do the so here we go. This is going to be the right side guitar. Oh crap, I didn't even think about what I was going to do for the next parts. Okay, so obviously after that arpeggio part, I just strum, so that's easy. And then I'll just go, so I was doing E, C sharp, G sharp, F sharp. I'll just do. Yeah, got it. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so that's the left side with the harmonies. Okay, so I'm not going to do that on the right side, because otherwise it's going to get a little too nuts. So what I think I might do is the octave up here. It's going to be a tight squeeze for my fingers. Oh, can I do the A though? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it's doable, but it's a pain in the ass. Oh, this is where that capo would come in handy. I should probably run and get it, but I'm not gonna. I think it's hiding up here. I'm pretty sure it's in my headless guitar case. Crap. Ooh, going backwards. I just do open screw. Yeah, that's gonna happen. The chorus part, that going to the A over that F sharp was a little just too happy sounding. So I think what I might do is stay on E and drop down to F sharp, which, let me just do this ahead of time so I don't waste my efforts. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, flipped it down to the wrong pickup. That's why it's noisy. Okay, I got that. Now I'm going to do some more. Which I know you're thinking that's really thick already on top of the chorus, but I want to. I think I'm going to do like a lead thing. Right now, like always, I'm going to do a right side, so here we go with the lead part. one important thing after you do a whole bunch of guitar tracks or whatever, don't forget to hit save every once in a while. So, solo now. Like usual, I'm going to just like improvise a couple things, see if I come up with something that sounds kind of cool. If not, I'm just going to do a total improv. Okay, I think I got an idea. A rough idea, anyway. I think that should do it. Cool. Okay, one thing that makes me laugh about these videos, I just kind of was thinking about it because I was like, oh, I should take my coat off. I've gotten a bunch of comments on Facebook and such, and people are like, oh, how come your band all wears the same clothes and stuff like that? And then they'll like ask if I want to come play at their venue, and like they seriously have no clue that I'm doing split screen and it is not multiple people. It's just me, and I'm like, do you think we're a band of like octuplets? What are you talking about? And we wear the same thing every day. So, yeah. Anyway, at the end of this video, I'm going to do split screens, and I'm going to put all these parts together, which I do every single one of these videos. So you can see like all of the parts playing over the final mixed version of the song. So, okay, now I'm going to do bass. Like I said, I got to improvise something. I don't even know what I'm going to play here. I mean, it's mostly just C sharp, A and B, and then the chorus, whatever that mess I did was. So let's do this. Alright, so that does it for the bass guitar. Let me put this down, and then I'm going to move the camera over and start recording the drums. Alright, so I'm at the drums. You'll notice they look a little different from my last video. I put some tape on them, and I messed around with the module, and I was trying to get a little more trigger accuracy out of them. So anyway, like always, I'm going to shut the mic off. Pads are loud and annoying, and they pick up in the microphone. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to hit record, and this is going to be an easy thing, so hopefully I'll get it. All right, drum part complete. So now I'm going to have to do the vocals, which I am definitely not going to do that now. I have some stuff to do, so I'm going to do it tomorrow. And I definitely think, at the beginning of the video I said I might do this as like a stock music thing or some kind of intro. I think I'm definitely going to write vocals on it, so just in case, you're wondering. But yeah, I'm going to do that, so I'll see you tomorrow. For you guys, it'll be 2 seconds like usual, and awesome. That was a easy drum part. So I'm going to start writing a melody. It's the next day, and here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to improvise something, and then I'm going to do a scratch track, which is just like a memory aid I use when I'm writing this type of thing, and then go from there. So then I'll write lyrics, and then I'll start tracking it. So I'm going to start with the chorus. Kind of already had something pop into my head, so I'm going to try it. Let's try that without sucking. Kind of stupid at the end there, just for fun. Like I said, this doesn't matter. It's a scratch track. So the verse now. So I have this chord progression going, and basically I do the whole progression 3 times. So when I was doing this, I started changing my strum pattern on the 3rd time, and I was kind of in my head thinking that that might be the pre-chorus section, even though it's very similar. So I'll probably change the melody there, but I'll just kind of have to go and see what happens here. Okay, I kind of have something, but it's a little so let me just see. I'm just going to do it again. That second one was a little closer to what I kind of want to do. Okay, so now I have to write lyrics. I think that pretty much does it for the melodies. So I'm going to speed that up like I always do because this is kind of boring to watch. I'm just going to be like playing this over and over and writing down stuff that pops into my head. So bear with me. Here we go. Okay, so anyway, I got the lyrics written. I'm trying to get this thing to stay on my stand just right. This is like a cell phone holder, but it kind of wants to take the book and just go. So it's a little tricky. All right, so I'm going to practice the lyrics with the scratch track. All right, I think I got the hang of this for the most part, so let me just try one more time. I know this is a little like rough, but I'm just kind of like trying to get the muscle memory and like remember the lyrics enough to do this. I didn't write the first verse on the top of the page, so my eyes have to scan down and find it. All right, I'm going to try this for real.
But it's going nowhere when you don't hear. Still only whisper. We are never alone. We hold on, then dig again as the tide grows stronger. Dive under and sink in. When my eyes crossed over and roll back, I begin.
All right, so last chorus. Okay, so I got the main vocals done. I actually did the last chorus again, so I just kind of like cut it and punched in because I got through all of those and then I like just messed up a word on the last chorus and I was like, crap. So being that it's going to come in from the solo, I just figured I'd just punch that in like right at the end of the solo and just do the last chorus. So that's done. Now I have doubles to do on the chorus parts. Maybe the pre-chorus. Let me hear it.
We are never alone. We are.
Yeah, I might actually double I might actually double the pre-chorus and the chorus. Basically, what's going to happen is I do the main vocals all the way through, assuming I can make it, because sometimes like I do like lines that overlap and stuff in different songs, so I don't actually do that. But if I can, such as this song, then I will. The doubles, they're going to go left and right, and then they get turned down quite a bit. So they just kind of sit on the sides of the main vocal. They don't get panned left and right all the way, just like minus 35 plus 35 is usually where I like to go. And they create like a chorusing effect so that it elevates the vocals when the song picks up a little bit for the chorus section. Which, by the way, if you're going to do that, don't run a tuning program. Ideally, you should sing in tune as you're tracking. But don't run a tuning program because that actually defeats the purpose of those, because you actually want the little inconsistencies so that they create that chorusing effect, because otherwise they won't. It'll just sound like nothing's happening. You might as well just copy and paste the vocal. It wouldn't do anything. So what you're going to do then is just if you sing a better part from one of the dubs, just find a good spot to just chop that little section and slide it up into the main vocal so you can kind of create like a better main vocal. That's the way to really do it. And then you still have those little like things. So when you shift so if the main vocal had a little section where you're just like a little bit flat, but then in the dubs you did it perfectly on, you're just going to cut that part, switch it, and then what happens is that little underneath thing that was slightly flat is going to create that chorusing effect. It's going to be down low enough in volume that no one's going to really be like, ugh, what the hell is that? But it'll like, have the effect. So that's how I do it. Okay, here we go.
We are never alone. We hold on, then dig again as the tide grows stronger. Dive under and sink in.
so that one was good. So yeah, if you listen.
We are never alone.
You can hear the phasey sound. Okay, here we go.
We are never alone. We hold on then together as the tide grows stronger. Dive under and sink it. When my eyes rust over and roll back, I begin. I'll just be.
Yeah, there we go.
We are never alone.
Yeah, so that like weird sound, that's what you want to happen. You turn it down, pan to the side, sounds awesome. Okay, so the next one looks like it starts around here.
We are never
Yep.
patience. We are never alone. We hold on. Patience. We are never alone. We hold on.
Okay, last one. So this time I don't have to do the pre-chorus.
As the tide grows stronger, dive under and sink in. As the tide grows stronger, dive under.
Okay, so the vocals, they're gonna go through a compressor first on each of the tracks, and what I do is put on the FET model. It's just the Logic stock plugin compressor. It's like the black paneled one, and I put on like a 4:1 ratio. It's like a pretty fast attack, slow release, and then there's a little overdrive setting you can use, and I do that. I just like put that on, and that just kind of helps add a little saturation to it. And then I run it through an EQ, which is just cutting off extreme lows and highs to get rid of any white noise coming from the microphone on the lower high end. Then I run it through a stereo reverb that takes the mono signal, spreads it out stereo, and adds reverb to it. So I cut out like some of the mids on the reverb, but I leave in like lows and highs. Anyway, the stereo reverb really helps, and once you put all the tracks together, it like glues them all as like one piece. It's really nice. And then the vocal bus, because I run all the tracks into a bus, so I can turn them all up or down or whatever I want to do. I just have a pod farm by Line 6, and I have like a preamps something on there. Yeah, if you have Line 6 pod farm, it's a preamp model, and it's just called the Vintage UK model. So I just have that. I just add like a tiny bit of distortion to the vocals just to like, again, help them cut through the mix. Then I do a compressor again, which is a different model compressor, but it's still like a Logic stock one. This one is the Vintage Opto. That's just doing like just barely touching it, just in case like there's a little pop or anything where it's just going louder. It just takes care of that so it doesn't make anything go over. And I have nice amounts of headroom in the mix bus. And then the last thing I put on is a tape saturation thing, just to add a little more harmonic saturation. Now it sounds like I'm distorting the crap out of the vocals, but I'm actually not. These are like just tiny little bits just to like add something that, you know, just a little like grit to it, and it helps it just cut through the mix. But if I turn them all off, you would barely notice the difference. The only thing that happens is some of like, you know, my pronunciation and different words and stuff just kind of disappears because the guitars eat it up because the frequencies disappear. So adding the distortion just kind of helps it cut through the mix a little bit. With that said, I'm going to take all of this stuff, I'm going to mix it down, which basically the drums and guitars and bass are already mixed down. I just kind of do that ahead right before I turn on the vocals, and I don't really do much because I'm kind of like a minimalist with it. I just kind of like have everything set, so I have the gain staging correct, so it's going in at the right amount, it's coming out at the right amount, and then I don't have to touch a fader at all. I just leave them go, and then only for like minor tweaks will I even ever touch one. I just like to get everything right. Gain staging is really important when you're recording, so just learn how to do that. And on a digital recording, you want to have lots of headroom. Back when you were doing analog stuff and you were recording on tapes, then you wanted to actually kind of get really close to the clipping signal to just kind of like make sure you didn't have to worry about the noise floor. But on this, it's super low, so turn it down, because once you are clipping on a digital recording thing, it's going to sound awful. So alright, so yeah, split screens are going to happen, and you're going to hear the main or the final mastered version of this and see me playing all the parts. So enjoy that.
I was just a number, added to a number, then another heart drops. Where's it going nowhere when we don't hear? Still you only whisper. We are never alone. We hold on, then dig again. As the tide grows stronger, dive under and sink in. When my eyes crossed over and roll back, I begin. I was just a feeling bottled up inside you, stuffed into your